Hi kids! Welcome to BloomTales Studio, and today's story is about friendship of the monkey and the crocodile. Please subscribe our channel for more stories. The sun beat down with tropical intensity upon the wide, muddy sweep of the river, where the water flowed lazily towards the sea. On the riverbank, a magnificent ancient jamun tree stood tall, its branches heavy with clusters of dark sweet fruit. This tree was home to a clever, agile monkey named Chirpy, who regarded his perch as the finest dwelling in the world. In the same river lived a large, powerful crocodile named Makar. Makar was generally a solitary creature, spending his days submerged, a pair of watchful eyes barely breaking the surface. One day, Chirpy, feeling particularly generous as he feasted on the choicest jamun fruits, noticed the quiet crocodile. "Hello there, Mr. Crocodile," Chirpy called out, dropping a perfect dark purple fruit near the water's edge. "This one is exceptionally sweet. Try it." Makar, surprised by the offering, cautiously snatched the fruit and swallowed it whole. Its taste was a burst of sweet and tangy nectar he had never experienced before. From that day on, a simple yet profound friendship began to blossom. Every afternoon, as if keeping a sacred appointment, Makar would swim up to the base of the jamun tree. Chirpy, thrilled to share his bounty, would carefully select the sweetest, ripest jamun fruits and drop them directly into Makar's massive jaws or onto the bank beside him. They would spend a pleasant hour or two exchanging stories, Chirpy describing the dizzying world of the treetops, and Makar recounting the cool, mysterious depths of the river. This daily ritual became the cornerstone of their mutual happiness. Makar, with his belly full of sweet jamun, grew stronger and more contented, and Chirpy cherished the reliable company of his large, quiet friend. Their friendship was a perfect example of harmony between two unlikely souls. Meanwhile, in a cozy, underwater den deeper in the river, lived Makar's wife, a female crocodile named Cruella. She had long grown tired of Makar's constant talk about the sweet fruits and his new friend, the monkey. Cruella was a creature of darker appetites, and the more she heard about the monkey's diet, the more a truly wicked idea began to form in her cold, reptilian mind. "Husband," she hissed one evening, her eyes glinting in the dark water, "tell me, if the fruits of that tree are so incredibly sweet, what nectar must flow through the veins of the one who eats them every single day?" Makar looked at her, puzzled. "What do you mean, my dear? The jamun fruits are the sweetest thing, of course." Cruella crept closer, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. "No, my foolish mate. It is the monkey's heart that must be the sweetest thing of all. A heart that has fed on the purest sweetness for so long would be a delicacy fit for a queen. I demand you bring me the monkey's heart." Makar was horrified. "Never! Chirpy is my dearest friend. He is generous and kind, and he keeps me well fed. I will not betray him." But Cruella was persistent, manipulative, and cruel. She refused to eat, moaning about her poor health and her strange cravings. She played on Makar's affections and his duty as her husband, weaving a net of guilt and misery around him until, finally, his resistance broke. His loyalty to his friend was tragically superseded by his fear of his wife's wrath. He reluctantly agreed to do the unthinkable. The next day, Makar approached the jamun tree with a heavy heart, his usual quiet demeanor replaced by a nervous flutter in his throat. "My dear friend Chirpy," Makar began, forcing a pleasant tone, "you have been so very kind to me, feeding me the best of your fruits. My wife Cruella has heard so much about your kindness and wishes to meet you. She has prepared a grand feast for you on an island in the middle of the river. Will you come with me?" Chirpy was delighted. "How wonderful, Makar! I would love to meet your wife, but how shall I get there? I cannot swim, as you know." "Do not worry, dear friend," Makar replied, trying hard not to meet his eyes. "I will carry you safely across on my back. Just hop on." Without a second thought, Chirpy hopped onto the broad-ridged back of the crocodile, settling comfortably behind his head. Makar set off, swimming strongly toward the center of the river. Chirpy chatted happily, pointing out various sights on the bank as they moved further from the safety of the jamun tree. When they reached the deepest part of the river, the point of no return, Makar could no longer bear the burden of his guilt and his terrifying secret. He stopped swimming and sighed deeply. The water churned slightly around them. "Chirpy," Makar choked out, his voice thick with shame. "I must tell you the truth. There is no feast. My wicked wife desires your heart, and I have brought you out here to take it to her. Forgive me, dear friend, but I could not refuse her." The words hung in the air like a death sentence. Chirpy felt a jolt of icy fear shoot through him. His ride had become a trap, and his trusted friend, a betrayer. He looked down at the dark, swirling water far below him. Panic threatened to overwhelm him, but he took a deep, steadying breath. He knew his life depended on his wits. He had to keep a cool head. With a calm that belied the terror gripping his stomach, Chirpy managed a small, slightly bewildered laugh. "Oh, Makar! Is that all? Why didn't you tell me this earlier?" Makar looked up at the monkey in confusion. "What do you mean, Chirpy?" "Well, you see, the heart is not something we monkeys keep inside our bodies all the time," Chirpy explained, his voice sounding utterly sincere. "It is a very precious thing, and we usually keep it safe, stored up in the high branches of our home tree. When we travel, we leave it behind to keep it safe from harm," he continued, his voice full of casual assurance. "My heart is still hanging on a branch of the jamun tree. I cannot possibly give your wife a heartless body. She would be furious. If you want my heart, you must take me back to the tree so I can fetch it for you." Makar was a creature of simple, powerful instincts, not of sharp intelligence. He was overwhelmed by his wife's command and his own guilt, and the monkey's explanation, though completely ridiculous, sounded perfectly plausible to his simple mind. The notion that a heart could be stored separately made him feel instantly relieved. He wouldn't have to face his wife's disappointment without the prize. "You are absolutely right, Chirpy!" the foolish crocodile exclaimed, turning around instantly. "We must go back and get it!" With a powerful swing of his tail, Makar began to swim back toward the bank, his mind now fixed on retrieving the stored heart. Chirpy remained silent, tense with anticipation, watching the jamun tree grow larger and larger on the horizon. As soon as Makar brought his snout close to the riverbank, Chirpy launched himself off the crocodile's back with a burst of energy, scrambling with incredible speed up the trunk and onto the highest, safest branch he could reach. He was safe. From his secure vantage point, Chirpy looked down at the disappointed and now utterly confused crocodile, who was waiting patiently for the return of his heart. A sharp, clear laugh rang out across the river. "Makar, you foolish, foolish friend!" Chirpy cried, his eyes flashing with a mixture of anger and relief. "A heart is not a fruit to be plucked or a coat to be left behind. It stays inside the body. You have betrayed the sacred bond of friendship, and for that, you have lost both a friend and your mind." Makar finally understood the full extent of his foolishness and the monkey's quick thinking. He had lost his friend, and he had returned empty-handed, having been utterly outwitted. "You should never betray a friend," the monkey declared, his voice firm. "Especially not for the greed of others." Makar sank slowly into the murky water, swimming away with a broken heart and a belly full of shame, never to return. Chirpy, though saddened by the loss of a companion, was alive and unharmed, proving that a sharp mind is the most formidable defense against treachery. Moral: presence of mind saves life. When faced with danger, staying calm and thinking clearly is the greatest advantage.